with Gray MTG. Today you're going to be looking through my simic deck, which is my main deck, and this just gives you an opportunity to see what my deck is like and leave me comments that will help me make my deck better. Alright, so we're going to start with my lands. I have 10 forests in this deck. I have a total of 25 lands in this deck also. So I've got 10 forests, and then I have 10 islands, a breeding pool, which is just a guildgate, except for I have the option to pay 2 life to make it not tap when it enters the battlefield. And then I have a full play set of simic guildgates. I have 4 of those, and there's my 25 lands. Now we're going to be moving on to my spells, and here's a warning. I don't have many spells in this deck. I have a lot of creatures, but not like sorceries and instants and stuff. Okay, so I have 3 bioshifts, and what that allows me to do is just move 1/1 counters around. So, like if one creature has a ton of them and I need 1/1 counters on another creature because I'm afraid it'll die, I can just play that and move the 1/1 counters over. Alright, and I have 1 simic keyrune. It's good because it's another mana source, and also it has the ability to become a creature, which can help my be a chump blocker, and also it can help evolve some of my creatures, not many of them though. And then I have 3 naturalizes, which are good for just destroying artifacts and enchantments, and I only put them in there just because I needed stuff to destroy like artifacts and enchantments on the other side of the battlefield, because I don't really have much destroy spells, so this just helps me make the enemy's stuff go away, so it's easier for me to win. And then my last spell in my deck are my give and takes. I have 3 of those, and I mainly only use the give part of it, not as much the take part. But you get to put 3 1/1 counters on target creature for 3 mana, and then also you get to remove all 1/1 counters from a creature and draw that many cards. So if you activate both the sides at once, you just get to draw 3 cards, pretty much. You put 3 1/1 counters on something, and then you can remove them from the same creature and get 3, or you can remove it from a different creature and draw a whole bunch of cards. But I only use the give sign. And I got one more, Urban Evolution. It allows me to draw 3 cards and play an additional land, so it's good for getting extra mana out and just giving me options to play against my opponent. Okay, let's move on to my creatures now. I have a lot of creatures. So, here's my Sapphire Drake. He has flying, and since this is my Simic Evolve, a lot of my creatures have 1/1 counters, which is good for the Sapphire Drake, because its ability gives all creatures with 1/1 counters flying. So I get to make a flying army, which a lot of times the opponent can't block and deal massive damage each turn. Alright. Simic Manipulator. It's 3 mana for a 0/1, but since it's evolved, he gets stronger fairly quickly. And he has an ability where I can tap him and remove 1/1 counters equal to the a creature or something on my enemy's side, and if I remove 1/1 counters equal or greater to the number or the power of that creature, I can take it over, and it becomes my creature now. Right. So I have 3 Master Biomancers, and he's a very, very common card to see in a Simic deck, but he's mythic rare. And he's a 2/4 for 4 mana. But his ability is what really is the good thing about him. Each other creature that enters the battlefield get 1/1 counter equal to his power, which is really nice, because it will allow people to, it will allow me to grow my creatures whenever I send them out, get 2 additional 1/1 counters on them, making them stronger, allowing it to evolve all my other creatures. But also, if I were to, let's say, bioshift from another creature onto Master Biomancer, then he gets stronger, and even more additional 1/1 counters get onto that creature when it gets sent out, which is real nice. Alright, and this is my Experiment 1. I have 2 of those, and it's a pretty basic card. It's 1 green mana for a creature with Evolve, and if I remove 2 1/1 counters from him, then Experiment 1 gets regenerated. So I can just regenerate him back, and he's really hard to get rid of, because I can just keep on getting him back out and back out, because of that regenerate ability. Alright, I've got two progenitor mimics. You may have him enter the battlefield as a copy of any other creature on your side of the battlefield, and if he's a copy of a creature that's not a token, every single turn you get to make a token of that creature. So every turn I'm just making another creature and another creature and another creature, which is really good. Alright, and here's my shambleshark. He's got Flash and Evolve, and Flash means I can play him as an instant, so I can play it on my opponent's turn, and then also that means when it's my turn again, he just doesn't have Summoning Sickness, and he can attack right away, which is a nice thing. Alright, and here's my elusive cross. He's unblockable with 0/4 and Evolve. The nice thing is he's got 4 toughness, so that a lot of my creatures evolve just because of that high defense on him. And he's also unblockable. And because he has 0 attack, whenever something enters with attack at all, he evolves. So just even a Experiment 1 can evolve him. And so on and so on. And then I have a full playset of cloudfin raptors, and they're really nice because they're simple 1 mana creature with flying and evolve. The nice thing is he has flying for 1 mana, sure it's a 0/1, but when it starts evolving, it can deal a lot of damage. And this is my crocanura. He has reach and evolve. Reach means I can block the flying creatures, which is nice, but also he's got the evolve on him. He's got a fairly high toughness, which means he can evolve quite a few creatures. Here's my battering krasis. He's 3 mana for creature with trample and evolve, and he's pretty much just a basic creature. The upside is he has trample, that's about it. Alright, here's my Samic guildmage. He has 2 abilities. If you pay 2 mana, whenever I play a creature, that creature gains an additional 1/1 counter when it comes out, which is real nice. But also, if I remove a 1/1 counter from a creature, I get to draw a card. Those are his 2 paid abilities, his 2 activated abilities, and he's fairly nice to have. Alright, this is my crown ceratok. He's got trample, and each other creature with a 1/1 counter on him gets trample. He's only 4 mana, but he's really decent for giving anything trample just to stomp over the opponent. Alright, this is my Diluvian Primordial. I have 1 of them, and he has flying, and when he enters the battlefield, I may look through my opponent's graveyard and cast up to one instant or sorcery spell from their graveyard without paying their mana cost, which is nice. And if I were to play it and it entered the graveyard again this way, then it's exiled. So, yeah, it's a good card just to turn around the opponent, and a 5/5 with flying. That's about it. Alright, here's my Species Gorger. I only have 1 of these in there because he's kind of a high mana cost for what he does. At the beginning of your upkeep, return target creature to your owner's hand. So, what I like to do with him is, since he's a 6/6 and he's got quite a high power and toughness, I like to just keep bouncing him. I like to send him out, and then at the beginning of my upkeep, take him out, and then put him back onto the battlefield. And whenever he enters the battlefield, it activates my creatures' evolves and makes them a lot stronger. So I just keep on bouncing them until my creatures get to, like, their maximum they can evolve from Species Scorcher. Here's my Nimbus Swimmer. He's got flying, and Nimbus Swimmer enters the battlefield with X 1/1 counters on it, and his mana cost is 2 mana than X. He's pretty good just because he's a flying creature and you can get him quite strong. The only reason I have him in here right now currently is because I used to have a Primordial Hydra in there, but it's going on standard, so this was a quick fix just to throw in and make the deck have the normal amount of creatures in it. Alright, so here's my Simic Fluxmage. It's got to evolve, and if I pay 2 mana, I get to move a 1/1 counter from Simic Fluxmage to another creature. So it's good for just a 1/1 counter generator. Since it's only a 1/2, it evolves quite oftenly, and I can just put those 1/1 counters on something that is more worthwhile. So putting it on like a Master Biomancer, or putting it on a cloudfin raptor, something with flying like that. Okay, here's my vorel clade. It's a legendary creature, 3 mana, and it has an ability, if I pay 2 and tap him, I can choose a creature, artifact, and or land, and put another 1/1 counter onto that permanent, so for each permanent on it. So it pretty much just doubles the amount of 1/1 counters on the creature or whatever you want to put it on. So it's a good card. And then this is my last creature, and this is my renegade krasis. He's got to evolve, and whenever renegade krasis evolves himself, every creature with a 1/1 counter on it also gains another 1/1 counter. And I run 3 of those, and it's pretty much a really common card to see in a Simic deck. And, well, that's my deck, and in the comments below, I'll leave my whole deck, just in words, and subscribe, and then comment on anything that you think would make this deck better. I'll take it into consideration. Thanks for watching.